Each month, Annie and I host a deeper dive, which is a live Q&A with an expert in the field of lactation, business, or personal development. The following snippet is from our most recent deeper dive. We hope you enjoy.
Well, hey there, Leah.
Hey there, Annie. How are you?
I'm great. How are you?
Doing fantastic. Really excited about this conversation. I think this is a hot topic in lactation land.
Yeah, always happy for the chance to talk to Rachel O'Brien. So she's come on a deeper dive a few times. You've heard her talk about bottles and nipples. She's done a couple of those, but she's also done um some private practice deeper dives with us, which you can find in the deeper dive archive. You can go back and see what she was saying about stuff the last two times that she was on. But today we're going to be very narrowly focused on self-pay clients. How do we get people to actually pay us? Rachel is someone whose practice is majority self-pay, and she's um, got a lot of tips and tricks up her sleeve about what works and what doesn't. And I know this is a kind of a time for a lot of people where we're having to reevaluate our relationship with the insurance company. Um, and it's always good, whether you are to pay or take insurance, to have those marketing strategies available, and not to put all your eggs in one basket, which I was saying when we were getting ready to start, I'm like, I don't know, I might have to step back a little bit because I'm like 100% insurance at this point. But I also am diversified in insurance, so I'm not reliant on one source. So if you had talked to me um 2 years ago or 2.5 years ago, I was not diversified, and my practice was 75% Aetna, 25% self-pay, and that always terrified me. I'm like, this is not good. So now I'm like spread out among all the major payers, um, and don't do a lot of self-pay, full disclosure, mostly because we don't have room in our schedule for self-pay people, and we don't want people waiting and paying, period, because there's too many good lactation consultants in New York City to make anybody do that. So, but we're here, and I did do it for a long time, and I'll do it again if I need to. Um, so, um, Welcome, Rachel. Thank you so much for being here.
Thanks. Always fun to hang out with you guys and hang out with everybody else. I have some frequent flyers that I see in the group. It's always good to see faces over and over again.
Definitely.
I was trying to figure out, I was doing my numbers before we started to try to figure out exactly what my percentage is of cash pay versus insurance. Um, and I figured out that I am about 80% cash pay. But in terms of the money that comes into my business, only 16% of it is from insurance. So about 80% of my clients are cash pay, and that comes out to close to 85% of the money that's coming in. So it's always kind of interesting to see how that washes out.
Wow.
Yeah. And Rachel, have you kind of always run about that level in your practice throughout your whole journey?
I think that there was a short amount of time where I was doing a little bit more of the insurance people. And honestly, I think that that was more when I didn't have a client base of my own. So it was a lot of like, somebody needs to see somebody, and you're the one who's open soonest, which is fine. There's nothing wrong with that. But I used to take both United and Aetna. And also, there's a local plan called WellPoint that I take. I actually dropped Aetna recently because they no longer cover office visits well. They cover home visits well, and I don't do home visits. And they stopped covering virtual, so I was just like, I'm out of here. Um, but I've never been mostly insurance pay. And the thing that comes up every time I talk about this, like the first thing that people say is, well, in your state, the insurance companies reimburse for lactation and they don't for my state. So just want to say, I see lots of people that are not in my state. I do a ton of virtuals, and because of that, I see lots of different insurance plans. And I'm near Boston, which means there's a lot of tech companies and med companies, like big companies that their insurance is out of Illinois or out of somewhere else. So the answer is not, well, Rachel can do this because Blue Cross of Massachusetts reimburses 100%, which they do. But that's not why I can do mostly cash pay.
Well, then you have to lead us right into the question, then why? Tell us.
My biggest thing that I tell everybody when I'm trying to talk somebody about doing more cash pay is you have to find a niche. And I think I say this to everybody who's ever asking about lactation stuff. You have to find a niche, because if you are just one of 50 people within a 20-mile radius who do the same exact thing, the same exact way, there's no reason anyone's going to seek you out. Um, I've been lucky. I can say bad things about the Lactation Network because I can say whatever I want because I got nothing to do with them. So if I say something bad about the Lactation Network, please know that I'm not talking about the lactation consultants that work with or through. It's not anything to do with anybody who signs on with them. I get it. I have a problem with the company. It's the same as like saying formula saves babies' lives every day. Formula is really important. I don't have a problem with formula. I have a problem with the formula companies. It's the same kind of thing. So, I mean, in some ways, I was lucky that TLN didn't have the chokehold here that they have in a lot of other parts of the country. Uh, but again, like I said, I get people from all over. I get people at this point, I've done 45 different states. And almost every continent somewhere. So it's not just about the local people. If you don't want to become someone who does a lot of virtuals, that's totally fine. Then you need to figure out what you want to specialize in specifically that your local people will benefit from. Because just being a lactation consultant, it's great and all, but there's enough of us now that that just becomes a game of who answers their phone first. And I just don't have the patience to be sitting there watching my phone, hoping it rings and going like, well, if I don't call them back in 3 minutes, they're going to book with somebody else. They're going to book with somebody else. Like, that's fine. If you can figure out something that your area needs that you can specialize in, people will pay for it. They will. They just will. They will pay for it because they're desperate or they trust you or they're scared or something. And all of us, there's something in lactation that all of us have a calling towards, right? Everybody has, oh, I really love NICU families. I really love twins. I really people who are having DMER. That's where my heart is. Or neurodivergent people. Who I want to serve. Whoever that pull is for you, that's your people, and you want to niche down because it's going to make you feel like you are available to fewer people. But the truth is, those people, even though there's fewer of them, are much more likely to book with you and to see you than just everybody. You can't market to everybody with breasts. You can't. It's too much. If you find your people, you can get real specific about exactly who you want to see and how you can help them, and they will come to you.
So, so good, so true. I mean, and that's something, being that I'm in New York City, there are like, it is, there are so many of us, and there's so many of us, and we're all very good, is that, um, you feel bad, like, I don't want people to wait for me, but also there are plenty of options for people. You are kind of like competing on availability in a lot of ways is the first thing, like, and you only have so much availability. But that is where almost like for me taking insurance kind of is my specialty in some ways. I'm like, what's my vibe? I'm like, my vibe is this day, this time, and I take your insurance. But what on that topic of specialization, I guess, like, how do you keep it fresh for yourself? So obviously you've
Mm.
chosen a specialization that you're really passionate about. You're obviously amazing at it, and not just with families, but also teaching us how to do these, bottle refusal consults. But how do you, like, if you've picked a specialty, how do you keep it exciting for yourself and keep it fresh for yourself? Do you ever feel like, oh, another bottle refusal client?
I don't get sick of bottle refusal. I do sometimes get sick of like certain themes that come up over and over again. But I think what you have to do when you decide what your specialty is it's got to be something that you're going to stay curious about. It's got to be something that you're never going to have all the answers to.
If you enjoyed that snippet, the good news is that deeper dive was recorded. And by joining our membership community, you can have access to that deeper dive as well as our entire vault of deeper dives going back through 2020. You will also be automatically invited to our live monthly deeper dives, so you can ask the experts directly all the questions you want to know about that topic. We look forward to seeing you at our next deeper dive.